Hey guys, Digitrailz here, and in the last episode we met the Cult of the Wandering Void, and well, they had some orders for us, and one of that order was improve their base. And I really don't want to, but I guess I don't have any choice. They've made it very much clear, so I guess I'll make the best of it and get working on their base. I have some designs, so let's just jump on into it and get to work. Let's get going. Okay, so we're mostly maybe about 75%, 80% of the way done with the cult's secret base. I don't know. I don't know what they want to call it. But basically, we've run into a few issues. The Forerunner decided to build his base being an even number wide when I built this place odd. Or I probably should have measured when he built it, and so we have a mismanagement here. And so, the 4 Runner's base is off center. I don't feel like rebuilding it for him. But we'll see. But I took some instructions, and we have sort of a big area here, which I'll bring in a bunch of the clerics into, and I'll figure out how to make sure that they don't kind of really overly escape. And then I have a smaller area over here. And this place is well lit, even though this place is spawn proof because it's still in the mushroom biome. Have this weird roof, and this is mostly because my rail system actually intersects with it, so I had to get sort of creative, and I kind of got with this motif. This is actually going to be sort of a pit style design, but I need to finish that off. And this is going to be less flat up there. What I need to figure out here is this is going to be sort of an entrance, but I need to figure out how I'm going to finish that off. I haven't figured out how I'm going to enter into here because this doesn't have a standard door, and my materials are still up there. So this place is almost done, and it's pretty much almost done. And I'm basically going to set it up so that I can basically set them in here via the rails, and then I'll be good to go. But I just kind of wanted to bring you in once most of the bulk of the work was done. And I kind of like the design. It's kind of creepy, but it's still kind of cool and mystical, but at the same time a little creepy. It'll be a bit more creepy once I'm done with it, but I especially like the warped and crimson stem, the way that they kind of just move, and it just kind of makes this place feel a little bit more alive. And I sunk these campfires in and covered them up with the warped trapdoors to kind of sink them in and almost make it like a little fireplace, and gives it a little bit more life and feel. So I'm hoping to make this be a bit more alive, but I need to finish it off a little bit more. But back to the grind. Okay, so first things first, now that I've done the interior, what we now need to do is actually make a secret entrance. I've modified the well so that there is a half slab at the bottom, so if I throw an item in, it can be picked up by hoppers. And what I'm going to end up doing is actually have a piston push out so that I can drop down into here. I have a way so this will pop up going forward, but we'll tackle that when we get to it. But first, let's install the item collection system. Okay, the collection system has been set in, where all I need to do is put in a warped block, and it will be filtered out right here, and it will actually end up, currently it'll end up in here, but I'm going to set a locking block right here to stop it in here. I will also set a filter box right here, so that if I drop anything else in, it'll be collected right there. Okay, now I have a opening mechanism. Now you see this plain old grass. throw a piece in here. And it takes a second. And it opens up. Brings us the warped vine. And we can go in here. I just need to install the closing mechanism. Let me show you how this works. So like I said, we have the filtering system. I currently have just a redstone torch that stops it at here. I need to create a closing system that will turn this off. But essentially I have a comparator that feeds into a repeater. The redstone feeds off into a redstone torch that is either on or off, and when an item comes into here, it turns it off and opens up the piston. The other one goes over here to an observer, which then powers this block and powers a dispenser that has basically some bone meal into it, which grows the warped vine. And when that happens, it then grows. I may need to put a little bit of a delay on that, but otherwise it opens up and allows you to come in. I tested it not growing, but you'd end up getting, you would end up getting stuck just below the entrance and you couldn't get out. But this way you can get out, and then when it closes, it just breaks the warp stem and you're good to go. It actually works as a little bit of a warped vine farm. So, a very inefficient one, but that's a nice byproduct of it. I thought about using warped vine as sort of the key. Currently, I am using warped wart because I have plenty of it, and I was going to use the warped shroom, but I don't have enough of it to warrant making it into a key. So I'll come up with another one later, but it's not that hard to swap out. Now to create the closing mechanism, which will be basically possibly a hoe. Essentially just hoeing a piece of ground. I just need to choose which part. Okay, so this should be a pretty simple design. Observer, redstone line with a couple of repeaters that then push onto a redstone block that then basically it unlocks it long enough to basically just let the piece through. And I'll show you where I'm basically unlocking it. Okay, time for the full unlock procedure. Goes in. It opens up. Takes a moment. Drop down. Then if when you want to close it, know that. And it should. There's any more delay on that. After referencing my redstone test world, finally got it working. Remember, if you build something in a redstone test world, reference it when it doesn't work, and it will save you a half hour's worth of troubleshooting. Basically, now opens. Take a second. And then close. Let's open it back up and head down, and I'll show you how it works. So the closing mechanism is an observer that goes into a block with a 4 ticks of delay repeater that then leads down to another repeater that goes into a block with a redstone torch. Simple, easy. Thought I needed delay, but I think that's because one of my iterations did actually need a bit of extra delay, but it didn't. And that is basically the whole design. Now just to get some clerics in here and get them their ender chest, and then I'm done with this place. Hopefully. Except maybe to trade with them. I'm hopefully done with them. for as long as, for as much as I want to be. I think that's one of the downsides of using this is it's gonna turn off on its own, but I have other routes of getting out, so if this doesn't work, I'll change other closing methods. Okay, now I've brought in all the clerics, or at least some of them. I can add more if the Forerunner requires it, or if I want more, but I may end up using the original hut over there for some more clerics if I need it. But we'll find out. Now I just need to kind of clean up over here. And I'll go ahead and close that up a little bit later. But man, villagers are always a pain to move. These guys were quite the pain to move around. Okay. So one kind of thing I've noticed as I went along was the hoe doesn't really work that well, mostly because it's picking up the water from over here. But I'd have thought I can still use a shovel to turn it into basically a path block. And then I should be able to do something along the lines of either doing that if I want to and just step on it. But yeah, I was having some issues with it. Especially if I wanted to close it with this. I found if this hadn't turned into grass by the time I got down there, it actually closed on me while I was down there. But now I just need to get them the ender chest, and then we're good to go. Let me get some sleep, and then we'll be good to go. After going underground for some obsidian, because I realized I didn't have any, we should be able to blaze rod, ender pearl, 5 ender chest. This, one of those, get one up, and give it a sec, open straight up. I really like that opening mechanism. And if you guys want a formal tutorial on that, or a more dedicated video on that, let me know. I may end up doing something for that. But let's see. Okay, Forerunner. Here you go. There you go. Hope you're happy. Before we wrap this up, I kind of want to give a little tour of the secret base. I mean, it's not really that secret. Philip knows about it. I know about it. You know about it. This is a single player world on my computer. But it's secret enough. It's hidden. But let's take a look. So I have kind of like this big open space. It's kind of sort of like a conference room. It could be sort of like a research room, but it's a big gathering room for the cult members. You have the smaller room. I have no idea what will happen in here. I may use some other things in here. You have this pit. And then you have sort of like this soul dropping down here. The soul sand dangling that has the warped or twisted vine, I think, and the crimson vine going down. And I just think it's really cool looking. But you have that, and then you have this room. It's sort of like an entrance room. I don't know if I'll do anything else with this because I need this to be able to get in and get out, and then have that to just yeet them in here. But that's kind of the room. And if I ever need to expand the space, I can always expand downwards. That is a possibility. I don't want to, but if I ever need to, I can. But I figured I'd give you a quick little tour. And I mean, I didn't really do anything within here. I may in the future if he demands it, but I haven't. But I created this nice space. I think it came up pretty nice. I kind of made it so they don't, it's not like over there where I have to kind of keep the villagers from killing themselves. In here, I've designed this in a way that they can't really jump out. I basically set this up so that they can't jump. I mean, I can, but villagers aren't able to. They don't pathfind to this and they don't jump for it. I tested it, and with these, the Twisted Vine, they kind of just walk right through it, and the only time they'll ever use this is if they can pathfind through it, and they'll then start going up it, but otherwise they won't use it. They'll just walk straight through it. So, for the most part, these guys are relatively safe. And that's why I also have the door closing mechanism so that at night no zombies can get in. But that is the secret base. Okay, guys, so we have the base set up for the Cult of the Warped Void going, and now they have more members. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I assume it's a bad thing because cults are never a good thing, and I don't want to get mixed up with one of them, but apparently I have no choice in the matter. So I'm hoping to, in the near future, start working on my base, working on my own little home around here. I'm getting really disorganized now. I've been living out of those chests over here and these chests over here that were basically what I've been using to organize these builds. So I'm hoping to essentially start breaking down my chest monsters and actually get a proper sorting system going, and hopefully a house, because I'm still sleeping in that bed over there. But who knows what the Forerunner has in store for me? I have no idea. So I have no idea what the next few episodes are looking like. But if I can start working on my organization, I will. Or maybe even start working on a base. I don't know. Maybe I'll work something over here. Who knows? I'm actually thinking of possibly moving my villager breeder. I messed it up when I first built it, so villagers get stuck here, so it needs to be rebuilt anyways. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, remember to hit that like button, and if you want to see more of these videos, feel free to subscribe and so you don't miss the next one. And remember, when you're in the Digital Trailz, watch out for digital bears. Bye for now. Oh, by the way, new audio recording setup. I'm trying to get it dialed in, but sorry if there's any audio issues in this video. Hopefully I'll get it dialed in by the next video, but no promises. I keep getting it settled in, but by the time I get it settled in, it seems to go weird again. But bye.